This is the Arthurstown Airport, 8,000-foot paved runway with 400 feet of overrun at each end, which will be extended and parallel taxiways placed on the view that you're looking at now. Very good surface. Bahamas Air flies in here, and a lot of private planes. Go ahead. Okay, this is the road from the airport to Anguilla, about 2,000 feet from where the proposed terminal will be, to the Anguilla Beach development. Road has just been graded, the side shoulders and the swale set in place. This road was constructed in 1972 and has been maintained over the years, and the side slopes have now just recently been cleared and the shoulders regraded. The reason the bouncing is I'm sitting in the back of a truck, the back of a pickup truck. I do apologize. At this point, as we round this curve here, we will come into Anguilla Beach, the development itself. On the left-hand side, as we come around this corner, is the beginning of the dual carriageway, and there will be a main entranceway here. We are now on Anguilla, heading in a northerly direction. This is the serpentine road leading from here all the way to the sea. The palm trees, the tree growth that you see in the middle of the dual carriageway was planted in '72 and deliberately in those locations. We will be providing a green strip down here from one end to the other. With residential, this area here to the left through this area will become the theme park area. The area to the right, soccer field and other development on that side, and further to the east will be residential development. See the expanse far in the distance. You will see the range of hills that separate the project into like a north-south area. The road section, which you will see in a moment on your right, is the roadway, east roadway that goes to the east property line, and then north, and then back to this roadway again. See down through there. Again, back to the dual carriageway with our tree planting. You can see the high range of hills that run through the project, give the project its character and its development. Trees, the blending of the undergrowth, all enhance the project. On the west side, there's additional high range to the west. That hill there, part of the range. This area that we're now approaching is part of will be area to my right on the east side will be water, and the area on the left will also be water. This will be part of the golf course. Golf course also is on my right and my left, on the east side and the west side, as we approach this hill. You can see the rock cut on the east side where the road was cut so they would have some balance through here. Now we're looking directly at the sea, panoramic view of what you will see from the golf holes, both to the right and to the left. This roadway to the right is the reconnection of the east perimeter road that has been placed, which we saw the entrance. There again, selective shrubbery has been left in the center area so that the future plantings will be some with old growth and some with new growth. That cut through the top of the hill, so on the left-hand side is where the lodge will be situated. As we turn this bend, you will come in, we're into the existing marina. You can see that we're now at low tide. The land to the side. The road cut that will go is on the peninsula. As you see, we're now coming up to, which is now the flushing channel, but will be developed into the main entrance channel to the development. Now this is going in a westerly direction as towards the sea. Okay, this is now looking east into the marina and through the marina, and the backside on there in that water is the salt pond. That connection will be, that excavation will be done in the dry, and that dam block will be taken out, and this entire area in here will become marina. And with island development, that's fine. This is a temporary road leading to the pine forest. And on the knoll above here that I'm looking at now is where the lodge will be. Again, this is the temporary road leading up to the pine forest. Really, the pine forest being a casuarina, old growth. And after we go over this next little hill that we're approaching, we go into a sandy, loamy soil area where at one time there has been a peanut farm and other farming done in the area. This area here is one of the areas that will be used for the golf course that will go being designed by Von Hagee. Then you approach the pine forest. The site being cleared is being selectively cleared with underbrush and trying to save the bigger palmetto palms, small casuarinas, and undergrowth. This is the area by the pine forest beach, which has been cleared of underbrush. And you'll notice that the sand is two types of sand, a white sand and a brown sand, that is not only supporting the growth, but this is where in this area some of the farms are. This area appears to extend about 500 feet from the sea in a southerly direction. Okay, this area here, through here the white sand, again changing to the red soily sand, which this area here has been selectively cleared. I'm now looking in an east direction, and this area here would be the lodge, cottage, beach area, and the area that I'm panning to is the roadway cut there that will go up to the lodge. The area here where you see this rocky promenade and this rock back over, this is the area where there would be a par 3 hole on the Von Hagee course. Panning back now to the pine forest beach. As you see down the beach, the side, the sand, the depth of the sand, the width of the sand is just fantastic. As you see down the beach all the way, it extends around that point down to the far rocky promenade. We are now at low tide. You can see the breakers breaking over the reef about 1,500 feet away. There again, we have a calm sea today. Very gentle breakers. Safe harbor. This is standing at the pine forest beach area, looking toward the rocky promenade. This is looking east, where the golf hole would come through, one on each side of the hill you see there. A very, very challenging 3 holes. Putting around, you can see the type of sand that is here. It's white, it's very fine. Egress backward from the sea, back into the back areas that have been selectively cleared. We pan down now, we're looking in a westerly direction. You can see the expanse of the beach. We are now at low tide. Way off in the distance, you see the light breakers coming over the reef. At this point, I'm standing in the back of the pickup truck on what is to be the proposed lodge site, looking in a westerly direction. We pan over. There's the pine forest. See the area down there where the crane is parked, where it's been cleared. There's a roadway leading down to the sea at that point. We're looking out into the ocean, seeing the breakers all the way. We have, like I say, low tide. The area down there that you can just barely see is the rocky promenade, which leads into the Flushing Channel, which will be the main entrance channel. Looking over, the roadway on that side is on the peninsula. The Flushing Channel runs parallel to it. That's a washout beside the Flushing Channel. That is the road that leads up, on, and down the middle of the peninsula. That is a northeast corner of the property of those palm trees down there. That's the east side beach. Curves around into the basin, into this basin. That's a parallel road, a second road on the peninsula. We come down, you're into the growth. That is the part of the marina that has already been excavated. The area way in the far look is the salt pond. Which will become excavated, will be the future marina. And there is the existing partial marina that has been excavated. You look back and you can see the range of hills. This is the north side range, comes back in. This is our dual carriageway that we came down before. See the range of hills. That's one of the high points of the island we're looking at now. Come back around. The range gives spectacular views from the sea, to the sea, over the golf course, to the marina. And back to where we started from. This is the Flushing Channel Beach, or Lodge Beach, west of the Flushing Channel, looking up in part of the land that is being underbrushed. As you can see, many of the trees are being left, protected. That's west I'm looking now. That's where the golf courses will be. We are looking at one of the finger canals that was excavated at the same time when the marina. I'm looking south And the position that I'm in will be one of the islands in the marina area. This would be the view that you would have looking to the south. That area that where the flat cut is, that's one of the highest points in the development. And we will go up there and get a view from there a little bit later on. But you can see the ridge line that flows through the property. This is looking northwesterly up the existing marina flushing channel out to the sea, peninsula in front of me, with our access road, which the access road is about at elevation plus 25. Elevation we're at now right now is about 5. This is the salt pond that you're now looking at. You see the extent. You can see the water out there is only about 18, some cases 18 inches deep. Most of it's shallower. The far ridge of land. Now we're into the trees. All this land that we're panning through now will be marina, and there will be islands situated in here with boat dockage. This is at the west end of the peninsula, looking back towards where the lodge would be, and that's one of the buses sitting up on top of the hill, which would look down on this site. This is at the west edge of the peninsula, looking west. Just beyond the rocks is where the entrance channel would come in. You can see the expanse of the beach, the rise from the sea to the edge of the beach. We look out, the beautiful colors of the water, the breaking of the reef. There again, it's distance about 1,500 feet out. This is looking down into the basin. The beach disappears around to the backside. And as we look, that's the far northeast corner of the property. We're now at the very northeast corner of the property, looking easterly, which will be that rock that you see in the sea will be part of the main entranceway to the easterly flushing channel. And just directly over this hill and down behind there is the further extension of the salt pond. We're still at the northeast corner, looking southerly at the sandy beach that continues all around into this natural basin. You can see not only the beach, but the definition of the hills. What you're seeing now at the very top is the location of the lodge site, looking over this natural basin, continuing on a northwesterly direction along the beach, through the basin, around and to the far rocky point, which will be the main entrance channel. Looking at the east beach, you can see the different shading in the water. There again, this is at low tide. The water has unbelievable color. This is a magnificent specimen of natural wild growth. You can see the roots entwined deeply into the caprock. And it would be difficult to imagine the age of these two trees. We are on the center road going along the peninsula, about in the middle, looking at the very northeast corner. Panning now, the road on the peninsula in front of me. Over to the side. There we're going into the salt pond. You can see the salt pond opening up. The range of hills behind it. Even higher as we come through the salt pond. All that area behind the salt pond will be eventually marina and island sites. You can see that the road coming through the main carriageway, the roadway to one of the high hills, back down. Now we're heading in a westerly direction. Still in the salt pond. This is back again to the road on the peninsula. From the same point now, we are scanning out towards the sea. You can see the bridge breaking out there. All the way through the area. This is a retake of the existing shot. I didn't know if it took due to the fact that the battery light was flashing. We're passing over the peninsula. You can just barely see the salt pond. Now as we approach the salt pond, you see more definition. You can see the range of hills behind it. Take it as we go, continue passing the high range. That's the dual carriageway and the cut to the top of the hill. We'll take a shot from there, back around to the salt pond again, back down, and that area will all become all marina. This is the cut road on the top. Flash back around, we go back out now to the sea. You see the breakers coming over the edge, over the reef. Just a magnificent view. We're now looking in a westerly direction. Pine forest way out there. The dual carriageway going around. You can see the rock cut that goes up to the road cut up to where the lodge will be. You pan around, you'll come down into the area where the marina is. The road going on the peninsula. That's the water truck watering the roads to make them hard packed. And we come into the salt pond. Now we're panning sort of northerly now, going in an easterly direction. You can see the definition in the salt pond. And okay, as we pan around. And that's the far northeast corner. You can see the finger of the little island that protrudes in the middle of the salt pond. Come back around. That's the east frontage road, east access road, perimeter road. Come back around on the range, over the hill, back around, all the way around. This is looking from the high hill on the east side of the road, about elevation 95, looking south. It's the dual carriageway that's coming in. I'm panning to the west. And that, as you look far to the south, that's the ocean on the south. Pan back, that's the other part of the dual carriageway as it makes an S shape by us. Comes around directly in front of me at the bottom of the hill here. Now going westerly again, looking towards the west side of the property. You can see pine forest far directly in the screen, the North Sea, around the breakers. Oh, I'm sorry, this is the pine forest. The first set of trees, that's the westerly property line. Back around. That road cut is the road cut to the lodge site. There again, we're back to the dual carriageway. And through the casuarinas, you can see the marina that's been excavated. Back around. This is one of the finger cuts that was made. At that same time, the sea coming over the breakers. We come into the salt pond area, which will be a marina. Back into the salt pond, we can see the extent of it. About 180 acres on the east side. That's the far northwest corner of the property there, northeast corner of the property there. As we come around, back around, you can see the basin in the background. Back to the adjacent property to the east. Back into another little area of the salt pond. Range of hills behind it. As we continue back around into this range that runs directly through an east-westerly direction through the property. The views from all the hills are fantastic. We've just made a 360-degree circle. Okay, this shot is looking from the second of the three high hills in the project. I'm now looking south, about mid-range through the project. We swing around. That's the carriage road that we come in. It's the carriage road that we come down. Now going into a westerly direction. And you can see the expanse of hills that we see from this high point. This is looking northward from the same hill with an expanse. Look, there's the sea that you see way out there. And as we come back in, this road which you see is the other road that leads to the high hill number 1. And this is a panoramic view as we look towards the north and the sea. We are on the peninsula with the Flushing Channel on our left as we go out on the parallel road. That's a D8K on the side over there to excavating a parallel road along the side of the Flushing Channel. Flushing Channel main entrance